Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming back into the Leon LeGray podcast. Now, before we begin today's topic, which is very important for today, I want to just go ahead and give you a few words of our sponsors. And today's sponsor is Podbeam. Now, if you've not heard about Podbeam, it is a very easy way to host your podcast. Very easy interface, and the statistics and the charts of who is listening to your podcast. They make it very easy to find out who is listening around the world, and I love about it because it's just super easy, and getting your podcast is just makes it very simple, and that's why I like about Podbean. They've been around for a very long time, and something I always recommend my listeners to check out. And especially the next sponsor, which I do recommend and checking out, Blueberry. It's a hosting and statistic website for anybody to use for statistics and for hosting your episodes each and every week. If you're someone like me, I definitely recommend Blueberry. It is fantastic. The interface is very simple. And I think that's one of the things I liked about Blueberry, is the simple statistics and the functionality makes it easy for anybody to use. If you can, check out these both hosting platforms, Blueberry and Podbeam. Last but not least, it is Brave. If you've not heard about Brave, check out Brave. It is a awesome browser. I've been using Brave for now 2 years, and something I recommend to my listeners if you want privacy. It is one of the best things to use for privacy reasons and get away from the Google machine that we are in. Google is only there to dig up your information and all your data, and I always tell everyone is to get out. And one of the cool things about Brave is it just functions like Chromium in Google's browser. And plus it has a Chrome store, so you're not missing a lot. So you can just go ahead and add the extensions and whatever extensions you've had on Chrome and just add it on Brave, which is fantastic. Now, with that further said, I'll have all the sponsors links down below, down on the show notes, so you can check it out too. And lastly, I want to mention one thing is OWN3D. I am a pretty much a affiliate with OWN, and if you are a streamer just like me, I definitely recommend checking out OWN3D for custom stream layouts and all the one-stop shop for all your stream layouts and for all your needs when you're streaming on Twitch, YouTube, or any streaming platform. With that said, check it out. Everything is on the show notes down below. Let's go on to today's topic. Man, oh man. So this has been a crazy start of the week, I should say. So, my goodness, the train has now ridden out really well on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's ride, it is going flying through the roof. And I've not seen anything like this before. And the way we are going at it with Bitcoin this week, it is phenomenal, and it's now going just on upward hill. And looking at the numbers, we are now over 16K today. And I don't know how long this ride is going to be, but oh my goodness, if this is going to continue on, going on the upward trend on Bitcoin, this is going to be it. And look, all the precious metals will come up as well. So we're definitely going to see a lot of these cryptocurrencies going high, including precious metals along with it too, because Bitcoin is pretty much ranking number one over on CoinMarketCap, and I'm sure it is along with CoinGecko.com. So that's where we're at right now too, with this current trend with Bitcoin. Now, today I wanted to get on, continue on talking about the trends with Bitcoin and everything I wanted to talk about, however, now, just to bring up briefly, I won't even talk too much on it because I know a lot of the crypto bugs are just jumping onto the news, and especially how people are taking this and writing this along the way too, and especially right now, Ethereum, which actually I know a friend that actually owned Ethereum throughout its early stages. One thing I'll say, it is up on the upward trends as well. For $456 on Ethereum. So this is a bear. We're in now in not bear, bullish territory as we speak. So I'm sure there are a few cryptos down, but overall, majority of them are still freaking high. We're talking about on the highs right now too. Bitcoin is one, Litecoin, Chainlink is still on a slump, but however, we may see that changing. But who knows at this point too? Because if you are looking into mining, I say go ahead and get on mining soon as possible and get out there too, because I can definitely see a crystal ball coming on 20K pretty soon. So, however, I will end up discussing Bitcoin on a later episode, and because right now it is too early to say if it's going to go the injectory is going to go up high over 20K, but we will definitely see. However, now the today's story, what brought me down in and talking about in today's story on Twitch's DMC, for one, this is going to be a very much of a big mess going in Twitch, or Amazon's Twitch, I should say, which the Twitch is pretty much now it's already affiliated with Amazon for some time now. I don't know what's going to happen. I really do not. Now, for me, however, I definitely enjoy the communities on Twitch. I think it is still a good leader on on the streaming platform right here. For me, this is where it is definitely giving or making a lot of content creators upset, where this issue has not been resolved with now, because Amazon should have had known about this too, or should have had known if they were going to get slammed up right here too. Well, I will agree with people in the community I've spoken with, and they've said that YouTube has done the DMC strikes, or how they've dealt with it much better than Amazon has dealt with. And for me, it's ironic because the other past episodes I was talking about my time on Twitch and how I like the community. And for me, I would hate to see Twitch going on a downward spiral and see it come crashing down, and then everybody's going to have no choice but to leave the platform into just for another platform. Because to me, that's where there's so many good content creators are just making dough with this platform, and pretty much everyone is an affiliate and a partner. Now, I don't want to say that it will just pretty much collapse overnight, and I will never ever say that. Now, for me here, however, I stream on Twitch each week right there too, and I've noticed the other day when I was just playing Shadows of the Tomb Raider for the first time live, and it was just a playthrough. Now, I will tell you that I've noticed a muted audio pretty much like an hour and 18 minutes off when I was streaming, and I did not notice any background music or OST, right? And I had no idea that there was any music to begin with. So, and that was one thing that did hit me, and a little surprise on it too. But now, after catching up and going through one of my favorite streamers' community, they're now talking about it, and I can tell they are pretty upset because how Twitch is dealing with they've been pretty much lackluster, and they should start dealing with this now. Now, because I'll tell you why. Because if this is not resolved very very soon, the platform it will go down if nothing is dealt with. And I know that a content creator I follow up on, his name is Harris Heller, and I followed him on his YouTube channel for some time now too. I like I definitely like Harris Heller for his videos on his how to videos, and just today he was talking about the what's going on that platform, and apparently though, this and I think this all started with this conversation continuing on when Herman Lee, a guitarist from Dragon Force. If you've not heard of or listened to Dragon Force, they are a really good band. I actually listened to their early stuff too. They're not too bad, but on however he got his channel banned just for playing his own song, right? A band that he's been with, and it's truly incredible how they've banned Herman Lee, pretty much like the founder of Dragon Force. Oh gosh, this is really this is really amazing that they, and it's not amazing, but it's astonishing to me that they would ban someone that pretty much that did his own song. But it's stupid. It's really stupid. And I think at this point a lot of people don't know what they're doing, and even the staff's on Twitch right there too. I don't think they really don't know what they are doing, and this is a yeah, gosh, this is a huge mess, and they've got to resolve this right away too. And for me, what has saved me the most, if I will say this, is the fact that Harris Heller and his channel, he's been encouraging content creators to use his music, his Stream Beats music, to help out content creators like myself. And I've been using his Stream Beats on Spotify. And if it wasn't for that, then I will be marked or hit with DMC strikes. And to me, I like to get up and follow up as an affiliate. I want to do that. That's my goal right here too. And I want to get on the affiliate bandwagon. Now I do want to do right and follow up with the rules and follow up on that too without getting my channel taken away. To me, this is where I see there's so many issues. Like they've actually banned channels, right? But they didn't deleted the clips. This is where it definitely I can definitely see why people are getting hurt with this too. And also, I will go ahead and get on with the blog, Twitch's blog, and what they've wrote about since yesterday, back November 11th on this too, which is music-related copyright claims and Twitch, which I will say that I will read it piece by piece, and I will mention right here is that there are going to be some things I disagreed. I will say I disagree on this too, and yes, and Alpha Gaming has talked about this in his channel, and I will read piece by piece right now, moving forward. So here we go. So November 11th post. Creators, we hear you. Your frustration and confusion with recent music-related copyright issues is completely justified. Things can and should be better for creators than they have been recently, and this post outlines our next steps to get there. Moving forward, we'll be more transparent with what's happening and what tools and resources we're building to help, which is good. I like the introduction, the beginning statement right there too, where pretty much they how they constructed this. At least they've understood everyone's frustrations. This is absolutely correct, and because this part right here, it is very frustrating for a lot of creators. To me, I actually have creators that I follow up, and I don't want their accounts to get banned, for one. And I'm glad they say it really well in this post right from the introduction. And next one, it says, copyright law and DMCA are not small or simple topics, so this won't be a brief post. We'll do our best to keep the legalities to a minimum, though there's a bound to be technical terms here and there. All right. Okay. So what is it? Let's continue on here in this post. DMCAs and Twitch. First off, a quick review of what DMCA actually is. Yeah, Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which I already know about that, and is a set of U.S. laws that allows you to create and share content on digital services providers like Twitch. We comply with the DMCA and similar laws worldwide. Part of complying means that when a copyright holder thinks a streamer has used their content without permission, we have a process in place for them to be able to request the content be taken down. Okay, so let me just stop right here. So that way I can digest this through pretty much and see, just go step by step. Now, I do want to go and continue right here too. So, and just to review the Digital Millennium Copyright Act too. So let's put it this way too. One of the things I would say about the DMCA, now the Digital Millennium Copyright, I mean, that's been around since the late 90s. And I definitely want to go over about this too. For me, however, it is I find these laws to be very burdensome. And where I see, well, look, I know the music record labels, however, they're just having I'm sure they're having a hard time, and they want to protect the music, which I understand, and I'm sure that record companies want to protect the rights of the artists, and I get that. Now, however, Twitch hasn't even done anything, or Amazon hasn't done anything, excuse me, to work this out, and they haven't done it. And for how long they've been brushing this off the rug, I'm sure probably many years too. But now it's just becoming very, very recently. And I definitely want to give you a post, a read up another post about this too on the Variety, which it says right here on this page, which says Amazon slammed by RIAA and major industry groups for using unlicensed music. Twitch disputes claim, and this is coming from Variety.com. So this is where this is getting really, really nasty for one right there too. So now they're really taking this real seriously, and I understand what they're trying to do. So yeah, so this is gonna be real, real nasty. So I won't get onto Variety because I know that Harris Heller has already talked about this in his channel, and I won't go over it too much too. I will go ahead and place links from other media articles that talked about this right there too. But right now I want to go back over with music related content on Twitch's blog, which is, I think it's real important. And so right here, this definitely needs to be resolved. And to me, where I see what's confusing about this post right here is, for one, they've been taking out channels, right? But they've not taken down the clips of these channels, which that's where I think it tells me one thing, that Twitch is not doing right. They're not doing right on keeping themselves together, holding themselves accountable. So that's where I find this real a real issue is, I think, the accountability for one. But what Twitch definitely needs to do is get themselves straight. Like, first of all, they gotta find out how they're gonna do this. This is a big issue. I actually follow a big Twitch streamer. She's actually a partner. What they really need to start doing is hold themselves together. I mean, they shouldn't really ban channels, right? They should just go ahead and check up each channel and see which copyright music they should hold accountable. That's how I see it, but not ban channels, right? This is where I find it's getting really ridiculous. And I remember early on Twitch where they didn't had this issue early on, but now I think a lot of the record labels in these music industries are just pointing the fingers at Twitch because you got a lot of people are playing music in the background, and that's where I find the issue comes down to it is just music being played in the background. And to me, I don't like these copyright laws, right? These whole DMCAs and IRAA, these bureaucratic nonsense. To me, I don't think they should exist for all I can see, because all comes down to money at the end of the day. Because that's where the average streamer like you and I, we don't have any sort of way to protect ourselves, right? If we ever get sued. Like, in fact, there was one person I was talking to over on a channel, which he actually made a good point. Is like, what if a IRL streamer, in real life streamer, that pretty much goes around and streams, pretty much goes outside and goes around town, and let's say if there was a background music, right? What happens if that 5 seconds of background music ends up meeting the channel, or or else have their channel taken down? I don't want anyone's channel to be taken down for a 5 second or a 20-second song, right? That was played in the background. Now that's where it becomes a big issue. That's something I can't. It's going to be a very of a messy issue. Okay, because for me, this needs to be settled very quickly. And the part I agree with Harris Heller is that if this is not done soon, if this is not done really soon, then what I can see is that there's going to be more problems ahead coming off the platform. And something I need transparency just like everyone else. This is absolutely ridiculous for me. So continuing on the music related copyright blog, this policy is important because we respect the rights of all creators. Okay, then they should. Okay, including those who create and record music, as well as the rights of those who own and control copyrights. As a company that is built around a community of people who create content, we take allegations of copyright infringement seriously. Okay, fair enough. They should do that too, and they should definitely take it seriously. But it's been months. It's been over a year, and this is where it gets me. They haven't done anything. They haven't been serious about this too. I mean, for God's sakes, it's been forever. and right now I am nailing Twitch, nailing them right into the nail on Twitch, because they are not doing what they're supposed to. And I hope that the people on Amazon does something about this, because it's been forever. At least I will say in credit on YouTube. Look, I throw shade on YouTube as well, because look, they're not perfect, and to me, I don't want to stream on a platform like YouTube. To me, I would go elsewhere to stream elsewhere than YouTube, because I don't think YouTube is any better, right? I don't think so. And I'm sure there's people that say, oh, at least they don't do this and that. Oh, bullshit, which I disagree, because I don't want to put any amount of attention to the YouTube gaming service or the Facebook gaming service. I don't want to do that. And look, the people that are streaming, the majority of people are streaming are on Twitch. And Twitch is one of the best platforms out there for streaming. And I think they do such a superb job doing it too. But if this comes down to not following up on the DMCA's acts and some way that they can go past it and do any leeway on this too, because to me, I don't want any content creators to go down just because of a simple 5 second, 10 second, or 30 second sound clip of a song, then this is going to be a problem. This is something I am worried for, not just the affiliates but the partners that are partnered with Twitch on this too, because I don't want to see that. See any of those creators taken down because of that simple issues. This is, I know this is not going to be easy on Twitch and Amazon on it, but they've got to work on it. So let's move on into on this point right here. Recent DCA notifications. How did we get to this moment? Until May of this year, streamers received fewer than 50 music-related DMCA notifications each year on Twitch. Beginning in May, however, representatives for the major record labels start sending out thousands of DMCA notifications each week and target creators' archives, mostly for snippets of tracks in years-old clips. We continue to receive large batches of notifications, and we don't expect that to slow down. Okay. They don't... this is really... okay. This is crazy. So, look, fewer than 50 music related to DMCA music. And let me just put it this way, too. Now, I think Twitch has mentioned that they've had their own soundtracks, right? What it is with their own soundtracks, which for me, it tells me one thing is that until May of this year. So look, we're talking about May of this year, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So we're talking about like how many months is that? Like, come on, 7 months. They haven't even got this resolved. Absolutely insane. This means two things. One, if you play recorded music on your stream, you need to stop doing that. Okay. And two, if you haven't already, you should review your historical VODs and clips that may have music in them and delete any archives that might. All right, let me just go back into an important piece that I was just mentioning early about this too. In fact, this is something that happened to me when I was streaming Shadows of the Tomb Raider. And here's one thing I'll say about this is that for content creators, what happened early this year too, I know that, like, for me, Ignorance Channel, I follow her a lot. And she was saying about the same thing too, about she didn't want to lose her channel because of this too. And this is where this gets me right there too. And after, look, all these partners, they have busy lives. They're not going to go back into the VODs and the clips that they've done in the past. And for all I can tell you is that this is many months of streaming they've done. They're not going to go through the Wayback Machine and take rid of all the clips that may have music in the background. That's a lot of work, and that is where it gets me. I don't expect myself to go through a historical archive and delete VODs and clips. That takes a long time. I won't do that. That is absolutely ridiculous. And just let me get onto the point right here too, which actually throws me off, Rich, in this blog. We were as surprised by the sudden archive of notifications as many of you were. Really? Okay. We also realized that we needed to provide streamers with more educational programs and content management tools to help you deal with this unprecedented number of notifications coming in all at once. So while we continue to remove content targeted by these notifications as required by the DMCA, we understood VODs and clips from years ago may not necessarily reflect on your current approach to music. Therefore, we also paused the processing of strikes associated with these batch notifications in order to give you the tools and information that and time that you would need to deal with them. Oh, this is where in the blog post In fact, Harris Heller even mentions this, and this is where gets me as well. We were as surprised by this sudden avalanche of notifications as many of you were. You should not be surprised. This is absolutely ridiculous. You should not be surprised with the batches of notifications because many of these people are really frustrated. And if you are getting batches of notifications, this should be dealt. I don't get this. This is so just is so nutty. And look, and by the way, your VODs or your the way they're doing this process, they're not doing a really good job. I'll be honest. Their management system or what you call it, their DMCA copyright system does not work, not at all. And first of all, back when I mentioned about Shadows of the Tomb Raider when I was streaming, it did not identify which tracks or clips it may. It didn't notify me about this was an official soundtrack to Shadows of the Tomb Raider, and it actually muted my channel for like 5 to 6 minutes of it, and it was frustrating because what I wanted to do with the clip is send that clip to YouTube and probably get that promoted and make a trailer out of it, right? Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why they would do this. And look, and this is where I think many of these creators, these game developers, they should start giving an option to folks like myself, getting rid of copyright songs off from their games and probably just take it out. Because if I want to stream with these songs, then I could. Now, for my case as a streamer, I want to go ahead and take these songs out. For instance, I know Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be coming out very soon by next month, and I do hope that they bring an option and not have songs played in the background. This is where this is going to get ridiculous when you have not just Cyberpunk 2077, but newer games coming out as well. I don't want to see any content creators taking off, and including myself, just for playing a song. I just don't like that. And this was what gets me, and to say that we were surprised by the sudden avalanche of notifications. No, you should not be. And I don't like how it's written on this blog. It's terrible. It is terrible. When they wrote this midway. So continuing on, we have analyzed notifications we received during that period from the end of May through the middle of October. What we found is that more than 99% of the notifications were for tracks that streamers were playing in the background of their stream. And this doesn't make tons of sense. And to me, the background of my stream were pretty much just video game music from soundtracks that's already been added. It makes no sense. This was not from a popular pop artist or hip hop artist at all, and none of it makes tons of sense. So let's get to the point. The point of the DMCA is to strike a balance between the interests of rights holders, the major record labels in this case, and creators. Because of this, we're compliant to delete the VODs and clips that were identified in the notifications. This showed our commitment to upholding our obligations under the DMCA while affording us the opportunity to sort out the best way to handle issuing strikes in these circumstances. Under these extraordinary circumstances, we recognize creators should have a reasonable chance to understand that content created in the past was being targeted and alleged infringing, and be given an opportunity to change their approach to music used before they got hit with strikes. This led to the current situation, which is understandably frustrating and worrying for many of you. Given the circumstances, the warning email many of you received didn't include all the information that you'd typically get in a DMCA notification. Normally, when we received a DMCA notification against your channel, we sent you an email that includes information about the alleged infringed work, who the claimant is, how the claimant can be contacted, and possible penalties under our repeat infringer policy. Okay, because see, let me stop right there. Nobody knew about this too. How our streamers are supposed to know? Then look, I didn't get an email this morning. I did actually. I did appealed into that video on that Shadow of the Tomb Raider video, but for me, right there too, it's like how we're supposed to know. It makes no flipping sense. It really doesn't. And I didn't even receive the email except for the pending approval and letting the track go, getting that track approved right there too, because this was an official soundtrack from the Tomb Raider game. I don't understand. It's absolutely nutty. This is something they've got to work on this too. I'm saying this again and again and again. This is absolutely ridiculous. They should have already known the circumstances back in May, and now they're bringing this issue up until now in November. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. Look, I would like to grow as a streamer, but this doesn't give me a lot of faith into streaming on a platform that they're going to end up doing very, very little. Look, as a company like Amazon should look into this much better and say, hey, listen, we definitely understand your frustrations, and we're going to get onto this issue right away and not leave this a months and a months on end. And look, I could see why that Amazon it's a big company, and they got a lot of priorities in management right now too. But absolutely, this is no excuse. I don't like it. And so right now I'm just going to go ahead and pass many of these right there, because right now this is going to go much longer than it has to, and I don't want it to go over many of it all at once in this podcast, and I want to get into like the points on hand right there too. So let's look at this right here. And so here on this blog post, they've actually noticed something about how to avoid DMCA notifications. One important question we've heard from you is, how can I stream safely and confidently on Twitch without having to worry about getting DMCA notifications from music used? Most importantly, don't play recorded music in your stream unless you own all rights to the music. Let me stop right there real quick. First of all, like, for instance, the guitarist that got banned, Herman Lee from Dragon Force. First of all, he had all the rights to the music right there too. And look, I definitely hope that Herman Lee does get around and getting his channel back. I really want his channel back right there too. Like, he does a lot of things on the music channel. It's something I hope he can fight over this too. And that's something I do hope that many of the content creators fight over this as well. I have to say this too, because for me, he should have the right. And this what pisses me off with this recorded. Don't play recorded music on your stream unless you own the rights. And which, by the way, Herman Lee did have the rights. He did. And for me, like, let's say if I created my own music, I should have the right to play that music in the background. Absolutely, 100%. So copyright is it's such a very gray area. Ugh. Okay. So let's continue. Or you have the permission of the necessary rights holders. A holder or holders. Doing this is the best protection for your streams going forward. If you're unsure whether you own all the rights, it's pretty likely you don't. If you want to include recorded music in your stream, use a fully licensed alternative like Soundtrack by Twitch or other rights cleared music libraries such as Soundstrips, Monster Cat Gold, Chill Hop, Epidemic Sound, and NCS. Okay. And continue on right here on the next paragraph. while we haven't received more than a handful of DMCA notifications targeting in-game music, if you're playing games with recorded music in them, we recommend you review their end user license agreements. That wall of text at the beginning of a game to see how the terms cover streaming with that music. Oh, okay, this is stupid. First of all, let's stop. A lot of these gamers, I mean, who reads the EULA, the terms of agreements, when you go through each and every game? And this is where, like, I don't want people to go through this and read all this stuff before they start playing the game too. The agreements are long. They don't make things easy for people to read. This is like attorney speak, right? I don't want to read the license agreements. If I pop in the game, I want to read in the license, and they are not making this easy. I'm very sorry, but this is not this really gets to me. Like, who the fuck wants to read targeting in-game music? And this is the strike I got from yesterday, from a few days ago on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Absolutely ridiculous. What they are doing is absolutely foolish. Come on now. Come on. It's frustrating to even read this right there too. One way to do this is to search for games official EULA online, and then do a Control F or Command F on Mac. Search for words like stream, license, and music to point you toward the correct sessions. If you're unsure about the rights, some games allow you to turn off music when streaming. Okay, I have to stop because I want to make this clear. The older games does not have this feature. It doesn't even have this feature included. Like, let's say if somebody was playing an older game, in no freaking way content creators are going to do that. This is absolutely bullshit. And very much so. This is not what gamers want to do. And plus, and then how it's going to be overridden. They, like all these developers that create the older games. Let's say if I wanted to play like an old game, like I'm going to pick a game off the top of my head, like Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 6. Let's say that, for example, or Persona series. If I wanted to play those games and it had background music, there's a huge issue about this too. Developers will have to put in a patch or re-release the games over from start, and so that makes it very, very frustrating. And they would have to go through a game like that too. And plus, I'm sure that this new requirement for streamers will have to be placed for newer games now. So moving on forward, and so this is where it gets me a bit too. Now, like, what's that new game like from Ubisoft, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla? It came out just back on Tuesday. That's why I'm saying this is an awful mess. They've got to review it one by one by one. It is not going to be an easy step, but at this point, Twitch has been holding this up for so long too, and this should not surprise them too. But I think for me at this point, this blog post has been written poorly, and this is very, very sloppy. And I agree with Harris Heller on this too. I'm not going to even go over in this blog post any more than I have to. I will recommend anybody to check this out, to check this up on your own, because this is very infuriating and irritating, because you have to go over reading copyrights and reading through this. This is absolute maneuver on this too, that they would have to put more stress on the content creators like myself. No way, Jose. And Amazon definitely have to strike some sort of way to go through this with the DMCA and not leave this behind for too long. And yeah, so I will have the link on Twitch's blog posts on the show notes below. But with that further said, I'm definitely going to see how this is going to all play out. It'd be very, very interesting where this was going to go. And I like the platform on Twitch. On all honestly, they're definitely hurting themselves if they don't fix the DMCA issue. Because with respect with YouTube, they did fix it up as soon as possible. Now, I mean, I know this hasn't started like 8 months ago. I mean, this has been years that they haven't touched on this. At this point, how much more are they going to let this go? You know, that's going to be the interesting part. And moving on forward, they've got to step up their game, because otherwise you're going to have like alternative streaming platforms rising up and say, hey, this is getting ridiculous. This streaming is not going to be as friendly as it used to as anymore. And I know like another service that's maybe uprising, this is going to be a decentralized one, which I've heard called D.Live. It's a very much of a decentralized platform, and the reason for that rise is because people streaming on YouTube got away from YouTube and decided to go over to D.Live and stream over there. And plus, it's much more friendly, and that's why a lot of people left YouTube so they can stream over there too, because YouTube has its own problems. I don't want to go on YouTube gaming. I don't want to. And I will say that if there are other alternatives you guys know, let me know. To me, at this point, there's going to be tons and tons of alternatives too, which if that alternative does better, and let's say if they're able to deal with the DMCA strikes better than Amazon's Twitch, then they should overcome it much better. So anyways, what your guys' opinions on this? I love to hear what you guys have to say, because this is something that they've got to deal with this, and more so too. And if you have tracks or albums that you play or are previously were able to play before, let me know. It'd be very, very interesting. Anyways, that said, let me not get on and ramble on too much too. I didn't expect to talk about this, but at this point, it's about time to bring this up before this topic is let go out of hand. So that said, thank you so much for taking a listen, an hour listen on this. So that further said, thank you so much for coming in to the podcast, and I will be back another day. Peace out.